Welcome to the African Hub for Sustainable Creative Economies, a place to share research, knowledge and ideas. This project is funded by the Arts and Humanities Research Council in the United Kingdom. This video considers research on creative higher education in Nigeria with a focus on the University of Lagos. It was co-authored by Vincent Obia, a PhD media researcher at Birmingham City University. He is also an academic at the University of Lagos. Dr. Lauren England and Professor Roberta Communion, both based at the Department of Culture, Media and Creative Industries at King's College London, and Professor Juro Uni from the Department of Creative Arts, University of Lagos, and a Fellow of the Nigerian Academy of Letters. This research considers the policy framework for creative higher education in Nigeria and the pedagogical practices for creative and cultural industries at the University of Lagos. In Nigeria, there is a little government and corporate support for the creative industries. This is worsened by the fact that there is little consensus on what the creative economy comprises. The chapter reviews three key policy documents. First is the National Cultural Policy. It was developed in 1988 and has not been successfully reviewed, suggesting that it is ill-fitted for today's realities. The policy is aimed at the promotion and preservation of Nigeria's culture. In relation to education, it spells out the need to restructure the school environment to promote culture and creativity. However, it does not cover the full spectrum of CCIs, recognizing only publishing, broadcasting, and film. Regarding implementation, little has been done to promote adequate creative education across schools in Nigeria. The second policy considered is the National Policy on Education. This has been reviewed 6 times, the latest being in 2013. The National Policy on Education saddles higher education institutions with the task of providing practical education to cater to the manpower needs of CCIs. In line with this, the policy-making provision for non-traditional higher education institutions, such as vocational enterprise institutions and innovation enterprise institutions. Regardless, the national policy on education weighs more in favour of science and technology education, with less focus on CCIs. This is partly because CCIs have not been sufficiently recognised in the education system. The third policy is the Benchmark Minimum Academic Standard, developed by the National Universities Commission. Benchmark Minimum Academic Standard is a document that guides higher education institutions in their choice of programs and course modules. Benchmark Minimum Academic Standard specifies 13 broad disciplines, 4 of which are relevant to creative education: art, think of music, theatre and performing arts; social sciences, think of mass communication and media studies; environmental sciences, think of architecture and industrial design; and engineering and technology, think of ceramic engineering. Benchmark Minimum Academic Standard also does not provide for cross-cutting integrated education between the sciences and arts. Benchmark Minimum Academic Standard is also not well suited for contemporary developments and programs such as web design, games, and animation. The methodology draws from extensive desktop research focused on policy and creative courses across Nigeria's HEIs, and a focus group session conducted in April 2019 with 15 participants from a range of academic departments and courses related to creative industries. Using desktop mapping and database research, the chapter shows that overall there are 227 undergraduate CCI-related courses being taught at 104 universities. More courses are offered in public universities. There is also a geographical disparity in CCI-related courses are disproportionately offered in the South. For the second half, the chapter focuses on the Department of Creative Arts at the University of Lagos. In a focus group discussion, 15 academics from the departments of Creative Arts, English, and Mass Communication were asked to reflect on how education connects and supports creative careers in Lagos. The participants noted that there is a strong input from industry into the curriculum and pedagogy. Industry professionals come in regularly to speak to students, providing opportunities for student engagement with experts. Practical teaching also happens through on-campus facilities such as Unilag Radio and TV and the Lagoon Gallery. Second, the students go out on internships. They also show their work at the National Theatre, where there are further opportunities to engage with industry experts. These experts can also ask that students come to work with them on certain projects. However, this raises questions about potential exploitation of students and recent graduates. There is also a link between CCIs and entrepreneurship. Participants emphasised the support the university gives to students to enable them to start small businesses related to the creative industries, in particular via the Research Office Support and Entrepreneurship Centre. The research mapped the role that universities play in the development and potential for growth of local creative economies in Africa. While higher education has done well in shaping and providing talent for the creative economy, with limited resources or investment, more research is needed to map and understand how to support Nigeria and African creatives graduates transition into creative work. If you would like to read this research in more details, consider purchasing the book, Higher Education and Policy for Creative Economies in Africa. You can keep up to date with our work and research via the social media channels of African Hub for Sustainable Creative Economies.